To PQ Prime, a very good afternoon to all the viewers. Clearly, the pressure has continued for another day in terms of where markets go. Nifty is trading below the 18,200 mark already, with cuts of around 0.6% coming in there. And similarly, if you see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, little over 280 points is the kind of cuts that we are seeing, 0.7% lower. The breath is pretty much skewed in favor of the bears. And if you see in terms of stock specific action, likes of a Kotak Mahindra Bank, Apollo Hospital, TCS, HCL Tech, as well as Asian Paints, which is trading under pressure. Whereas there is some bit of positivity in terms of Hero Moto, Indocent, BPCL, Bharti Airtel, as well as an ITC. Overall, if you see in terms of clearly, in terms of the markets, it seems there is a rush of profit booking, and that is what is pulling us lower. And probably there is a consolidation phase that we have been witnessing. To actually concur or not, and what should be the roadmap ahead, joining us on the show is Mr. Raja Venkatraman, co-founder at Neo Trader and Trading Influencer, joining in. Raja, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to the show.
Always a
So,
pleasure. So, Raja, my first question coming to you is we've opened lower, weak, global cues are weak, and it seems we have been witnessing some bit of profit booking right now. What's the sense that you pick up?
yeah, see, overall markets continue to be in a range bound approach, especially at in this week, because there has been a very unprecedented run which we have been seeing right now. But what one needs to consider is that the markets overall are having a bullish stance, and the kind of softness which we are seeing on the commodities, plus the kind of interest rates, etc. The reduction in the interest rates rise has also helped the overall market sentiment. Now, what we need to understand is that the global cues will have an impact on the market. So, everyone is expecting some cues from the overseas, which could impact the overall sentiment. But then, what I feel is that the extended run, which is being seen right now, and like you rightly said, the profit booking scenario is being witnessed. But then, the strong result season plus the overall positive outlook in the market is expected to continue, and the continuous inputs of FIs have been unrelenting, and you can see that they have been continuous buyers even in the cash market for more than nine trading sessions in a row. So all this is adding to the bullish flavor. So any dips which we are seeing right now is a good opportunity. 43,500 was an excellent dip opportunity in Bank Nifty, and that has come in. 18,100 to 150 was an excellent dip opportunity in Nifty, and that has come. So the dip which I was expecting and which I had shared across at the start of the week has already emerged. So I continue to maintain a bullish poise, and this could be a good time to look at stocks which have done well, and they have witnessed some correction, and we could look at it from the future trading sessions perspective.
Right. So, Raja, when you're saying that these levels could be used as good opportunities to use a buy on dips kind of a strategy, uh, what is that resistance level we should be tracking on Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, taking into consideration that a reversal could be in place from here on?
Yeah, so see, every time any trend goes up and a reversal is anticipated, anytime a reversal trend goes down, a reversal is anticipated. But then what we also need to factor in is the kind of scenario in which we are in, and the overall scenario in which we are is a uncertain scenario. So yes, there are reactions very much possible, and I continue to believe that there is room towards 18,500, and I think that this kind of levels should definitely happen in the coming days. Now, if Nifty were to completely give up its bullish stance, it has to give a closing below 18,100, where I will consider that yes, the bullish scenario which we were involved in has come to a rest, and the same is on Bank Nifty below 43,000. So unless these levels are given away on the downside, that is a level. And on the upside, there is room till 44,800 on the Bank Nifty, and in the Nifty at 18,500.
Right. Apart from this, if you see in terms of individual stock specific action as well, where are you seeing, major traction? Because clearly, if you see individual names, if you pick up, say, for the likes of a PVR Inox, there have been some short additions on this name. What should the strategy be?
No, if you're going to, if you're talking specific to PVR, so there are a lot of news flows which are flowing in into PVR, especially in the kind of sector in which they are. So those kind of negative undercurrents will continue to keep such sectors under pressure. But if you take a look at the sectors which are doing well, one is auto, one is reality. So there are quite a lot of names that are continuing to witness some steady upward traction. And if you take into consideration today's market action, they're given some decent corrections which could be looked at. Like for the likes of Oberoi Realty, Godrej Property, even DLF, they have given some decent set of corrections. And if the markets overall were continuing to hold on to the levels which I mentioned, this could be some interesting prospects which you can consider. So yes, when the scale of decline does give us a hint that yes, there could be some bearish pressure underway, but I definitely do not call for a bearish scenario at the moment.
Right. Apart from that, let's look at Exide Industries and Escorts. Both these counters are seeing some good positive accumulation in today's day of trade. What should the strategy be?
Yeah, so Exide has definitely witnessed a sharp rise today, and after the sharp rise, it has slipped into consolidation. So now, when you take a look at this stock of Exide, you are seeing a very strong run over the last few weeks, and this is definitely a very encouraging sign because this stock was lying low. So, if you want to buy Exide right now, it would not be a good opportunity. Instead, you can look at a dip towards the region of around say 195 to 198 to buy into the stock. And even Escorts, I have a similar opinion because Escorts is a very aggressive stock and it shows a lot of rally out here. And the overall movement in Escorts is definitely on the positive side. So one should consider Escorts. And like I said, the auto sector is definitely performing well, and this stock should definitely be considered at the current levels.
Right. Raja, how are you looking at a Jubilant Food? Good up move in today's session. Volumes are pretty strong as well. There are some longs which are being built on this counter.
Right. So, Jubilant Food is a stock that was languishing for quite a while. And I would say that after a long time, my opinion on Jubilant Food has undergone a major shift because this stock has spent some almost 3 to 4 months in deep consolidation. And well, you could see some good fortunes return into the stock, and especially today, it is showing some signs of promise. So one should look at this stock from a trading or an investment point of view.
Right. What about Ramco Cement? Again, I mean, there's a good amount of built up coming in on that name as well.
Yeah, so the cement counters have been doing well, and they have been managing to buck the trend and ensure that they are steadily showing some upside. And Ramco Cements is a stock. Well, it's less of a trading stock than more of a multi-day kind of a stock. So there is some good multi-day setup being developing in Ramco Cement, and well, it did have a decent set of pullbacks towards the region of around 720 to 740 a couple of times, and now it has managed to cross its value resistance around 770, and that makes it a very interesting candidate because upside is in the region of around 880 to 900 within the next 3 months.
Right. Raja, metal names like a Tata Steel, SAIL, Jindal Steel, all these counters are seeing some bit of short position built up in today's session. What should the strategy be?
The entire metal basket is affected by the Chinese economy not being able to do well, and also the strengthening of the US dollar. So, when the combination of such forces emerge, the metal sector is definitely pressured, and the kind of short positions which are being built in into these counters are basically a hedge against your normal long positions. So overall markets are on the bullish side. They are using these news flows and the kind of sentiments which are developing in this sector as a hedge position. So you should continue to retain your bearish poise in these counters.
Right. A couple of longs being unwound in today's session for the names of, say, a PFC or for that matter, a SBI Life. Even if you look at, Birla Soft, Sun TV, what would you advise investors to do?
Yeah, so since there is a steady long unwinding right now, so one should definitely stay away from these stocks.
Hmm.
And when you're considering these kind of stocks, you should always understand that these stocks are not going to move in a unidirectional movement. You're going to have frequent corrections in these names which you have mentioned. So the current scenario itself, the entire market scenario itself, is not built on a steady upward traction. So there are going to be continuous profit booking scenarios because the markets are still tenuous at the moment because the overseas markets are not robust yet, while Indian market are decoupled and they are ensuring that they are giving the bulls a chance to make some money. And this is going to continue. So the war between the bulls and bears are going to continue. What we need to do is we need to take a position on either side of the market and keep booking our money when we see them. So, like the names which you mentioned, we saw some decent up move. So, keep booking profits because it's not a overextended trend on any side.
Right. Raja, apart from the names that we've discussed in today's day of trade, anything that comes to your radar from tomorrow's trade perspective?
So from tomorrow's trade perspective, I have been tracking the likes of TVS Motors, and I find that that stock, after a strong run earlier part of the month, it has slipped into some bit of consolidation. And what I find is towards the closing session of the day, it is showing some good movement here. So I would definitely look for looking into TVS Motors as a BTST candidate, and also I will be looking on the short side at Sun Pharma. So Sun Pharma is something which is not able to keep up with the momentum, and there is a lot of pressure to the downside. In spite of the market doing well, the Sun Pharma has not done well. So Sun Pharma on the short side and TVS Motors on the long side would be my bet if we are looking at the closing trades for tomorrow.
Right. So these are a few names that Raja has been recommending in today's session. Thank you, Raja, so much for joining us on the show and giving us those views and what investors should do from a technical and derivative perspective. But clearly, the pressure has continued, though we've recovered from the day's lowest levels. We hit a low of 18,115 in terms of Nifty, and now we are at around 18,187. So around almost say a 60 to 70 point recovery from the day's lowest levels is what we've seen, but cuts of around 0.5% coming in there. Bank Nifty as well, some bit of a recovery, but we're closing below the 43,750 mark, and the breadth pretty much remains in favor of the bears. Hero Moto, Indocent, ITC, UPL, as well as BPCL. These are few of the stocks that are supporting, whereas major pressure coming in from the likes of a Kotak Mahindra Bank, SBI Life, Apollo Hospital, TCS, HCL Tech, as well as Infosys is another name which has been putting pressure as well in today's session. If you see in terms of the Sensex as well, interesting moves in terms of the Sensex. Again, a 350 points cut coming in there. We're ending below the 61,600 mark overall. And if you see in terms of sector specific action as well, it's an interesting, more than a sector specific action. If you see the counters which are contributing to the cuts today, Infosys, Kotak Mahindra Bank, TCS, ICICI Bank, Reliance, as well as an HDFC. These are few of the names which are actually pulling the Sensex lower. But clearly, sectors again, majority of them ending in the negative, and you have Bank Nifty, which has ended nearly 100 points, a little over 180 points lower. Overall, if you see in terms of broader markets, clearly there has been outperformance from the benchmark indices. However, they have also ended in the negative, and clearly the breadth continues to remain in the red. So it seems it's a day of profit booking that we have been witnessing, and this is after a 5% rise that we've seen in terms of Nifty 50 in FY24 so far, and that is what is the phenomena so far. But clearly, if you see the underlying tone, the underlying message that the markets are giving you is that there is still bullishness. These are bouts of correction, and what analysts are indicating is that these corrections should be used as a buy on dip strategy. So let's see what's in store from here on. That's all that we have on this session. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.